news on 2.0 WALT Meridian.
Good morning. I'm Lisa Huffman with the Twin States Information Update. The Mississippi Attorney General's office has announced that the Federal Strike Force has arrested over 40 people in 2 drug operations. The operation involved Lauderdale County Sheriff's Office and the Meridian Police Department, resulting in 48 arrests and confiscated drugs. An unclaimed money event occurred at the Lauderdale County Government Center when the rightful owners of bank accounts, life insurance policies, and investment accounts cannot be found. The money is sent to the state as unclaimed money. To find out if you're owed cash, visit treasury.ms.gov. Meridian Parks and Rec is hosting an Easter egg hunt on March 29th at 10 over at Velma Young Park and another at Highland Park at 4 o'clock on Sunday. All are invited. That's your update. I'm Lisa Huffman.
Stay up to date with everything in your community online now at WALTmeridian.com.
The best radio lineup in Meridian lives at Meridian Media Group. The best news talk is at 102.1 WALT.
The violent crime that we see now that is in every big city and around the country, a lot of small towns around the country.
All of your country legends live at 105.7 The Legend.
I fell into the burning ring of fire.
And don't it make my brown eyes
And all those classic hits you remember are on 97.9 The Buzz.
Here I go again on my own.
It's the best lineup in Meridian. News Talk 102.1 WALT, 105.7 The Legend, and 97.9 The Buzz. We are Meridian Media Group.
Your home for mornings in Meridian is News Talk 102.1 WALT.
Hey, good morning, everybody. Welcome to Mornings in Meridian. It is the 2 best hours of local live talk radio right here in East Mississippi and West Alabama. And I'm glad you're a part of it, tuning in here at 102.1 FM, or you might be tuning in on Meridian, WLTmeridian.com. That might be a good way. You might be joining us on Facebook, YouTube, or you just might have our app on your phone. You're listening, and we appreciate that. Who are we? Well, I'm back at work, Roger B., and say hi to my main man from Meehan, Mr. Rob Atkinson.
Hello, Roger.
Hello there, sir.
Welcome back.
I'm glad to be back.
I'm glad you're back today.
Time to make the little check today.
Okay.
Okay. And of course, say hi to, he's not ashamed to make a little check every now and then. Say hi to Charles Frazier.
I have no shame, obviously. I'm
That's
here,
right.
so
That's why you're here.
That's
You're
exactly
so
right.
You're so cheap.
Thank you. Not the first time I've been called that.
I won't be the last. The reason Charles likes his show so much, this is the money that Trisha lets him keep.
No, it's not true. If only that were
So
true.
we'll let you keep the money.
I don't know any money.
We're paying him?
Oh, wait a minute. Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's all relative.
After tax.
Do we call that pay? Sort
That's,
of a donation.
in the restaurant business,
What
they
is-
call that a gratuity.
Yes.
A small one at that.
Good to see you guys. I
Yeah.
hope you had a good couple of days. I leave town and you have a bridge
Oh, boy.
collapse up in Baltimore.
Yeah.
So way to go there.
Other stuff too.
You're welcome.
Man, I
Mhm.
saw that happen and all the speculation started. That was fun. And then, of course, I do appreciate the fact that you got Donald Trump's, bond down, to something more reasonable, like
We did our best.
just under 200 million.
Oh, pittance. Yeah,
No biggie.
I can almost afford that.
I'm like, come on, people. Come on. I mean, really.
And they still, the hush money trial, they're still going to go ahead with that April the 15th, too.
Mhm.
So
Okay.
during an election cycle.
Well, boy, tell you. Now, I don't know how next week is going to go because I got a summons from Donna Jill Johnson.
Oh, boy.
Yeah,
You gotta go.
Jury duty. So I've got to check.
Or you
in.
get one of those fake phone calls saying you didn't show up,
That's
and then you have
true.
to pay some money over the phone.
Yeah, this is not. Yeah, no.
This is legit.
I don't. Anybody ask me for it doesn't matter. It'd be a scammer or it could be a friend. If you ask me for money and not getting it,
Sorry. Yeah.
it's just not going to
Ain't
happen.
got none.
But no, it's been a while since that came around to me. So I guess we'll see what happens.
Your duty.
We'll see what the phone call on Friday.
Where do you have
sounds
to
like.
report to?
The
New courthouse.
new,
The new complex?
I believe the new complex. yes.
Okay. Yeah, because I know that her office is still in the old courthouse right now, I think. So,
Mhm.
interesting.
They'll see me going around in the circle in my little car. I can't get out. I can't get out. Little parking circle.
It's amazing. I cannot get left.
or right or whatever.
Look, kids, Big Ben, Parliament.
That's violent.
Mm.
Yes.
So no, I appreciate you guys. Just holding the fort, man. I tell you what, thanks for letting me do a little trip yesterday.
Yeah,
So,
I'm not bringing up what we talked
Nope,
about the last 2 days.
No, no, no,
I'm not having a third
the
day of this.
BP.
No, I'm not.
Let's
No,
put it this way.
I'm not having a third day of this.
Well, we might inadvertently. You know how this show goes.
I know it must have been a mess when I got a listener call me and I wasn't even on the show. So that's okay. We'll avoid that area. But
Thank you.
let's talk about all the fun things like the new broadcasting system we have here in the United States. It used to be called NBC. Now it's called DNC.
Yeah, I like it. Okay, good.
Yeah.
And very musically done as well.
Thank you for that. Yeah, they kept the old the old audio in that. But what
Is that new?
I
think that's
guess
been
you
going
all
on
talked
for a
about
while.
that yesterday, right?
No, we did
the-
not because they
We were otherwise occupied.
well they didn't fire her till well after
That's
we were off
true.
the air yesterday.
That's true.
So.
And so here they hire a. I guess we have learned one thing. We have learned how so in bed the liberals are with certain media outlets in the country, and it's just amazing to think that they hire a person and they fire because of pressure from on-air folks. I mean, that's. Could you imagine, Rob? Just for example, so let's just say for an example that our boss wanted to hire Charles Frazier to come on and be part of the show.
Yeah.
And we just said on air, that's a big mistake.
Mm.
And then they didn't hire him and fired him the next day.
Mm.
Can you imagine that ever happening, by the way?
Mm. Well, I mean, here's the thing about it is the people that host these shows, they're not journalists. They are political commentators. And a lot of them are activists as well. Let's go ahead and make that very clear. They're not journalists. They're just, it's like Sean. I mean, I'll even say that for Republican side. Sean Hannity
and Jesse Waters and all these folks that host
their
these
shows.
Their shows, their entertainment, their political opinion and stuff like this. But for them to sit on their programs yesterday after they fired Ron McDaniel for after 5 days, it's just amazing. They right or wrong. What right did they? What wrong did they write? Rather,
yeah.
What are you talking about here? I said, but when you look at Fox, they have a lot of Democrat commentators on their program, but you don't see them, throwing their hands up. And I mean, Harold Ford's on there. I mean, there's plenty of other ones. I mean, it just blows my mind. You basically threw your cards on the table and be like, here's what you really are. We all knew it all along.
Exactly. I mean, are we surprised?
It's self-proclaimed now.
Yeah, but I mean, to not embrace an opposing viewpoint and say, okay, let's listen to the other side and let's destroy it, which is kind of what Fox tends to do. Not necessarily. I mean, sometimes the liberals or those moderate Democrats they have on, like Harold Ford, bring up some good points and they're legit, and we say, okay, that's great, you bring up a good point. But if nothing else, it gives them the opportunity to counteract those other arguments on the right, on these leftist programs. But to not even acknowledge another opinion is, I mean,
I like what
it basically says, okay, we admit it, we're not journalists. That's it.
I enjoyed hearing the lady on the 5. She's kind of like the liberal perspective. And she says, well, I want to thank Fox for it's because of them wanting to hear a different opinion.
Jessica Tarloff.
That's the one. Yeah. That's why I'm able to pay my insane rent in New York. So she's kind of like thankful for the job, first of all. But she was also very kind of critical of how McDaniel was being treated by NBC. All right, 601-485-9191 is our talk line. If you'd like to be part of the show, you're welcome to dial the numbers. We might answer it, might not, but we'll give it a shot. We'll see what happens. Good morning, caller. How you doing?
What's wrong with you people?
That's a good question.
Why would y'all think that this person would have the right to express an opposing or conservative opinion? What is wrong with y'all? That's not allowed in this country anymore.
When did we lose when did the same people who back in the days of bell bottoms and little flower halos, when did they give up the idea of free speech?
Tolerance, and it's all about, we heard tolerance during that period, Roger, for so long. You're not tolerant. You're not tolerant. Evil people demand tolerance until they gain power. Then they're not tolerant of anyone with an opposing opinion. So that's what we heard about tolerance, and we tolerated these idiots to the point that they have power, and now they're sure not going to be tolerant of conservatism at all at any level. The amount of effort they put into prosecuting and going after anyone who has a conservative view, just like the Capital Six, all them people didn't do prosecutable offenses. Not all of them, but all the things that were done during the Black Lives Matter riots, there were plenty of people to prosecute that never had any, that were never touched. So it is an attack. If you, in any way, and just look at Donald Trump, the prime example of a conservative being attacked at every end. So when they take over, complete takeover is what they're after, and you don't get to have an opposing view. But anyway, I just, sooner or later, we're going to have to do something, or we can all be slaves to them. But anyway, thanks a lot, guys.
Well, great call. Thank you. And upon reflection, with Fox kind of allowing the opposing viewpoints to come in and then obviously counteracting them, saying, well, these are the problems with that argument, or even saying that those points have merit. Maybe the liberals are afraid that the conservative viewpoint might actually appeal and make sense on their programs. And so if they allow that to be heard on those networks, then you might have someone saying, hey, wait a minute. They actually have some good points about immigration and Ukraine and the economy and a variety of other issues, crime, police. You can go, the list goes on and on. And so if you shut those opinions down, those viewpoints down, then all those who are tuned into just those stations, don't hear them, and they just are on point and staying on that message of what the liberals are projecting. So anyway, that may be just an example of kind of not letting that viewpoint in because of they're scared.
Well, I mean, you mentioned, Jessica Tarloff, she's on the 5 just about every day from the Democratic standpoint. You have Juan Williams, who is also on Fox. A lot of the election, like Harold Ford, you mentioned him. He's on the 5 a lot. Leslie Marshall, she's on during the day a lot of times on Outnumbered. So that is just a few examples of the folks that are from the Democratic standpoint on these programs, and it's like, and you don't hear everybody shouting to the heavens about that. No. But the only reason they got upset because it was Ronna McDaniel, the former head of the RNC, because she had supported Trump being the head of the Republican National Committee.
Trump derangement syndrome.
And she had some questions about the integrity of the election, so that's when they all just kind of screamed. You had an alignment with Trump, so guess what? You're not allowed. So it's like, good grief.
Well, but just think of the wealth of information you'd have access to on your network if you did have her there.
Yeah.
That so maybe some inside stuff because she's not. Of course. Didn't she get fired from the RNC?
Yeah, I mean, she basically stepped down, which is basically,
they asked her to or whatever.
Because they needed some change with the RNC.
Yeah, they did. 601-485-9191 is the talk line. We want you to be part of the show. Give us a call. Good morning, caller. Welcome.
Good morning, guys. Come in peace. Love everybody. And there's nothing you can do about it.
Not a thing.
Hey, maybe you guys should hire me. I can bring a different opinion from what the normal talking points are. So if I put in an application, will you guys be looking to hire me?
You do pretty good on the non-committal part. You kind of do come down that fence pretty good.
Well, and I'm not talking about the race.
Yeah.
But when I say everything is not black and white, I live in that gray area.
Yeah. Well, you're right. You're right about that, by the way.
Right. I know I'm right. That's where I live at. And that protects me. And it gives me an opportunity to see both sides. And when you pull in one side, you reject everything on the other side. So I like living in the middle, because to me, that's where the truth is. It's just a matter of, the system that we're set up in. Hey, tell you to be one way or the other. And if you're not this way, you'll sell out. If you're that way, I said, okay. So like I say, on one side, it's an ideology. On the other side, it's an idiot.
Yeah. Well, I wouldn't be surprised one day if, I show up and my key doesn't work and you're hired and I'm fired. So I can imagine that.
Now, why would you be fired?
Well, you got all these days off that I take, that sort of thing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That got nothing to do with me being hired. Just your
no.
showing up for work.
Yeah, just being a slacker. That's it.
That's right.
Yeah. Well, we do appreciate your contributions via phone line, though. That's very kind of you.
Right, but that's where, and I look at balance. And like I say, I was sort of indoctrinated as a child to look at both sides and be in the middle. So I hold that along as I got older. And now that I'm stubborn and stern, that's who I am.
Yeah.
And I'm just going to look at both sides. So, I just, hey.
But the problem is, though, it's good to look at both sides, but you can't go into the voting booth and vote both sides.
I've looked at clouds from both sides.
Now. Oh, now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Now.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah.
What's that now?
You have too, actually.
I have. I've looked at clouds from both sides now.
Right.
Yeah.
And then.
Oh, yeah, from the clouds being in the sky. Okay.
Yeah. He's making fun. He's referencing a 1970
really bad song, Ken. Anyway.
Okay. Some of the progress going forward, going to take both sides with input.
Yeah.
And it sort of holds it back. I know, like they say on a seesaw, hey, it's no fun if you balance out. One's up, one down.
Yeah.
Okay, that's pretty good. But okay, guys, hey, I enjoy talking to you guys, and I will be calling in again.
Hey, thank you there, Mississippi James. Thanks for
the application.
Or should we call you down here? You probably Ohio James.
Probably because everybody's Mississippi James.
No, Mississippi everywhere. They the one that gave me that name.
Well, they gave you that up in Cincinnati, so now that you're down here, we should call you Cincinnati, James.
Ohio, James.
Okay.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
All right.
I like
Either way.
James,
Hey,
but I
you
never
know,
had
it's
it,
not
you
it's not in black and white. You know, it's gray. It's out there. We're working on that name still. It's still floating around out there.
There you go. Subject to change. And if that be better, so be it. Let's go with what's best.
No.
Don't be afraid of change.
Ooh.
Now, don't you? Hey, Meridian can be the template for Mississippi, and Mississippi could be the template for the United States. But we got to embrace, conversate, embrace some changes.
There it is.
Go from there.
You're right about that. Well, sir, good to hear from you. You just keep on keeping on.
All right, then. Thank you all.
Yes, sir. 601-485-9191 is our talk line. I want to thank Martin Roofing for being a sponsor of our program. We want you to know that they stand ready to come out and give you a nice, good quote on your roof because these things do wear out.
That's right. They'll come inspect your roof for damage as well. All you got to do is call 614-85-5920. Get you in touch with Doug or
Stacy.
or Stacy, which isn't a Doug, but she probably runs the show. 601-485-5920 is Martin Roofing. Been doing roofing right for over 30 years. Of course, locally owned and operated. You see their signs everywhere. They're not running for coroner. Oh, man, where's that come from?
It's been a while.
I had to revive that joke. But you know what? There's a reason you see their signs everywhere because they're that good. Everybody wants to use them. Call them today for that free estimate and inspection. 601-485-5920. They'll be happy to help you with all of your roofing needs. That is Martin Roofing.
All right. Good morning's in Meridian, 601-485-9191. Put you here. Good morning.
Good morning, Pastor.
Well, good morning.
Hey.
Is this? Hey, this sounds like my friend Silas.
Silas.
Yep.
All right. Well, good morning to you. All right. I can hear the vehicle. You're on your way to school.
Yes, sir.
I will plan to see you. I will plan to see you in a couple hours.
Yay.
Yay. All right.
Is today pizza day?
That's just pizza.
Ooh, wow.
Oh, hey.
Pizza.
Oh, come on.
I'm not even.
Shut up!
I invite you to pizza this time.
Oh, well, there you go. Is that
for all three of us.
Is that for all three of the guys here?
No.
Look at that.
I'm sure.
Yeah. Sure, whatever. Yeah, whatever you guys.
You get a half a slice.
I love it. I love it. So, good deal. You go ahead.
I can't tell you how it is on the bridge. I'm not there yet, but I'm close.
All right. So, what's the road report? Is the road dry and no fog and nice and clear?
Yeah.
Okay.
Pretty good.
Pretty good. All right. We got a good road report here out there coming across there near West Lauderdale.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. Watch out. Just keep an eye out for deer. Still deer like to wander out every once in a while.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. All right then. Well, listen. You just have a good day, and hope you're having a good. Well, you're almost out of school. It's going to be. Can you believe a month, and you're going to be out of school for the summer?
Yeah. I think.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna say.
Yeah. All right. Well, listen. Yeah. Well, listen. You make sure that your driver stays awake and everything, and just have a safe
nudge over there.
Have a safe trip to school.
Right. Enjoy the pizza.
I'm on the Okeechobee Bridge, and it is okay.
All right.
Right.
The bridge on Okeechobee. I guess that's the north side there. It's okay.
Okeechobee is okay. I like that. It's like
Look at that.
Oklahoma. Okay. Well,
Could we write a song like that?
maybe.
Okeechobee is okay. All right. Very good. Well, thank you, Silas, for checking in.
You're welcome.
All right. See you later.
And remember, you are invited to pizza.
Excellent.
Now, what is that today or is that Friday? No, that's
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow. Pizza
All right.
day. Okay.
Invited to Pizza Day
Pizza
tomorrow.
Day's tomorrow.
Excellent.
Okay.
We have
Put it
invitations.
on my calendar.
That's it. All right. Very good. Thank you, sir. All right.
Bye.
Bye.
I love it.
Our youngest listener. Check
I
in
love
here. All right. They're on the way to school. I can't give you a bridge report because I'm not there yet. Oh, wait, here he comes.
Hang on just a minute.
You know that they could have used him up in Baltimore the other night.
Yeah.
Kind of give a bridge report up there. I mean, you know, I did hear that evidently there was a way that some did start off traffic.
They had sent a Mayday report from the ship, and there was in plenty of time where they were able to keep the traffic off of the bridge.
So they knew they were going to hit it.
Yeah. So it was kind of like they knew it was coming. So.
Well, I'll tell you, it could have been so much worse. But boy, just imagine watching that structure fall and collapse. That's crazy. We'll be back. Stay with us.
Oscar. Federal investigators have collected the data recorder from the ship that crashed into the Key Bridge in Baltimore. Divers are looking for 6 bodies.
Investigations into what happened aboard the cargo ship Dolly are in progress. The Mayday call from its crew is credited with saving lives.
Yeah, if we can stop traffic, make sure no one's on the bridge right now.
Those 6 victims were part of a construction crew working on the bridge early Tuesday when the ship smashed into the bridge, destroying it.
Fox's Evan Brown. There's one big Mega Millions lottery winner, a ticket sold in New Jersey for the $1.1 billion jackpot.
It's the 5th largest prize in the history of the game. If the winner opts for the lump sum, they'd get over $537 million before taxes. The jackpot winner overcoming the odds of 1 in 302 million. There were 13 second prize winners, each winning $1 million.
Fox's Chris DeMeo, America's listening to Fox News.
Up to $100. That's all you have to do.
I'm Nicole Murray with Your Money Now. The Port of Baltimore has indefinitely suspended shipping traffic after the collapse of the Francis Scott Key Bridge yesterday. Economists say this is a maritime disaster, but not an economic crisis. The auto sector is predicted to experience the most significant supply disruptions, shipping delays, and ultimately product shortages. Ford and General Motors have both announced they are working to divert shipments amid the closure. Nearly 850,000 vehicles go through Baltimore's port every year. Moderna has announced positive clinical trial data on 3 experimental vaccines and said it will move those shots to final stage studies. The update brings Moderna a step closer to having multiple products on the market, which it desperately needs amid plunging demand for COVID shots worldwide. Futures are moderately higher. NASDAQ, the Dow Industrials, and the S&P 500 futures are all in record high territory.
This is an unprecedented time of instability and change. More than ever, families and businesses are looking for security and reassurance that someone is vigilant, watching over what matters most. At Meyer & Rosenbaum, we are committed to meeting our clients' insurance needs. While responsibly practicing daily social distancing, we have been here every day for the love of our clients and our community. Meyer & Rosenbaum, now located at 1901 Front Street, historic downtown Meridian.
In the past 5 presidential election years, gold rose an average of 10%. This election year, where do you purchase gold for your portfolio? Don't believe the hype from the paid celebrities. Call me, America's gold expert, Dr. Mike Fulgens at Universal Coin and Bullion. I've advised attorney generals and the FTC on protections for you, the consumer. And I won't add ridiculous markups so you won't overpay for gold. Call Universal Coin and Bullion at 800-822-GOLD. That's 800-822-GOLD. 800-822-GOLD.
Here at News Talk 102.1 WALT, we love our community and we love all things local. And we want you to stay connected with events over at WALTmeridian.com/events. If you have an event coming up at your church, school, or community organization, we want to add it to our calendar. Simply add it by logging on to WALTmeridian.com/events. We are News Talk 102.1 WALT Meridian.
Hey, Meridian, it's Glenn Beck. Join me for the Glenn Beck program coming up at 9. Now back to Mornings in Meridian, right here on Meridian's News Talk station, 102.1 WALT.
Looking job in the city, working for the man every night and day. And I'm living on the middle of the street. deep and way walk away when not ill. We on waiting, proud and I keep on going. Rolling, rolling, rolling on you. We've a lot of faith to melt with. On the long way around you only. But I miss from the side of the city. Till I miss the ride on the boat. We keep on running. Proud and keep on running. Rolling, rolling on the
All right, welcome back to Mornings in Meridian. Little CCR bringing us back in here today.
Any reason for that? Just because?
Just saw it and I said, you know what? Haven't had any CCR in a while.
You feel it?
I feel it.
You do it.
That's kind of it. That's the rule of radio, right?
That's the way I live.
Yeah, we were overdue. So
yeah,
about time. I've been waiting for it.
Creedence Clearwater Revival just proved that you could have, chords and a good drummer, and you can make a band out of it.
Yep.
Man, good job. 601-485-9191. That's our talk line. It's Mornings in Meridian. We're back. I'm Roger. He's Rob, and he's Charles.
I am.
And in just a moment, we're going to be visiting with our next guest. So just stay with us there. We're going to be talking about college for kids.
Yes.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
You get reimbursed for paying for that? Biden pays for it.
Oh, no.
Just asking.
Do they take out loans?
I don't know. I might
College-
go.
College for kids.
Wow.
Kids.
It's
Well,
free.
All right. We're gonna investigate that in just a moment. Let's take a phone call here at Mornings in Meridian. Good morning. Welcome to our show.
Okay, I'm breaking down that accident on that bridge.
All right. You break it down.
Okay, you know how the steering gear works on a ship?
No idea.
I'm actually glad you called because I don't know any of that stuff. I can tell you about things that fly in the air, but I can't tell you these things that float on water.
Well, there's not a control like on the old days where you had a mechanical connection. You have a potentiometer on the bridge. Let's say you set it at 15 degrees port. Then there's a potentiometer down in the steering gear ram room which matches.
Really?
Yes. In other words, you're dealing off of an electrical signal.
Yeah.
What's the RAM room?
Okay, so in the Navy, once a month, we have a maintenance schedule. You go in there and you clean it up with, believe it or not, a pencil eraser. And you put that dielectric lubricant on there to keep it from corroding. And that way you don't lose communication between the potentiometer on the bridge and the one in the steering gear ram room. That's the normal failure point of these things.
What does RAM stand for?
RAM, it's a huge ram that goes left or right and turns the rudder. It means not random access memory or none of
Okay,
that.
so it really is a RAM. That's the word.
Yes, it's a hydraulic ram. And if you get between it and the stops, we will go through your pockets and get what's left because you're not going to need it anymore.
Oh.
The steering gear ram room is one of the most dangerous places on the ship, regardless.
Okay, I got you. So basically, it's like an autopilot where the ship is steering itself based on the signal it's getting from the bridge.
Now that's if you've got it in autopilot. If the bosun is up on the bridge and he turns the rudder 15 degrees left on the potentiometer, then that signals to that potentiometer sends a signal to the steering gear ram room, which then matches 15 degrees port.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the corrosion is no one problem. Because it is a saltwater environment. It could have been a relief valve, a ruptured hose, a low oil, level, a lot of different things that cause that. But the point, did you realize that these modern ships, these cargo containers, are built as, inexpensively or as possible? They have no reduction gear. They cannot put it in reverse. They can't go backwards by themselves.
I guess I don't know that. Yeah, I didn't know that.
You could drop the anchor, but the problem is you got to run to the end of your chain. And, that might be 450, 500 feet. So dropping the anchor is not something, there's no button like that.
So in 50 feet of water, then your anchor, you'd have 400 feet of chain left. You got to run out.
Probably, but you're going to go to the stops.
And if the weight of the ship, what do you figure that ship's pushing, 80,000 tons?
Well, I don't know. I didn't figure it, but we leave that for people like you that know ships and can figure things.
It depends on what she's carrying.
I know she had like 10 containers high. I mean, I didn't know they could stack containers 10 high like that.
Yes, sir, they clamp them. I didn't check her plimsoll mark, but she was probably at weight. You know what a plimsoll is, right?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do. I do know what a plimsoll mark is. That's
okay. Outstanding. You may have to explain that to some folks.
No, that's okay. It's a mark on the side of the ship to let her know how she's settling in the water.
Right, when she's fully loaded and so on and so forth. Regardless,
yep.
But they couldn't back up, so they're going to drift. And if you're moving a ship that heavy, let's just say she was a mere 45,000 tons, she is still going to travel for quite a distance before she stops. And you saw her hit that pedestal, and it just broke it right down. I mean, it was quick, fast, and hurry.
Yeah.
But there's going to be a lot of lawsuits over it, but the crew did the best they can. You know, they're limited by what the ship design is. But there you go.
There you go. Thank you for that breakdown there, Senior Chief. That was that's kind of helpful to know that. You know, that what you're describing, the technology is what we call in aviation fly-by-wire, where you have
fly-by-wire. Yep.
You don't have, which is kind of opposite of what you think, because you used to have cables with your control cables were connected to the control surfaces, and now you have computers telling servos what to do instead of cables.
You have that every day in your truck. Well, if you got a vehicle that's newer than probably 2000, you got a thing called a TPS. You reach over and touch the gas pedal, and that potentiometer at the gas pedal tells the potentiometer on your intake, on your where to set the valve, the butterfly valve, to determine how fast you go.
Used to be all linkage, didn't it?
Used to be all linkage. I love that 64 to 66 Chevy pickup, my favorite, and it's all mechanical linkage.
There you go. Well, sir, you have brought forth a wealth of information, and we appreciate that.
Well, I hope you boys understand it, but that's just terrible.
It is terrible. Yeah. Well, anything else that you find out about it, you let us know. Keep us up to date, okay?
I'll give you a scream, but I'm busy in a one-armed man in a windstorm hanging paper, so I got to go.
All right. Okay. Carry on, Senior Chief. Mornings in Meridian, 601-485-9191. Before we talk to our next guest, let's talk about Jeffrey Wilson, who is somebody that you want to know because he can save you money on insurance.
Big money savings. That's right. $889. That's pretty good.
Not bad.
Too shabby. And of course, all you got to do is combine your State Farm home and auto insurance, and you can save that much money. Call Jeffrey Wilson today, 601-483-8253, or go by and see him. He's at 2401 Highway 39 North. Get a cup of coffee, sit down with him, and he will evaluate all of your insurance needs, and they change year to year. So you need to meet with him frequently so that he can tell you exactly what you need, and he can save you even more money. He's always wearing khakis, and he is a good neighbor.
Neighbor?
Jeffrey Wilson. Oh, a neighbor. Sorry.
Yeah.
Neighbor. Jeffrey Wilson. 2401 Highway 39 North, 601-483-8253.
There it is.
It is.
All right.
And there he is.
Well, Rob, we have some college folks come in here. Actually, some people that know about college and know that kids like to have college too. So won't you introduce our guest?
We've got Meridian Whiting in the studio this morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
Meridian's here to talk about college for kids.
I sure am.
Well, tell us when this all going to be taking place.
Yeah. Okay. So just to clear any rumors, you will not have to submit any FAFSA forms like you guys were talking about earlier. No loan forms. No loans. No student loans. So that's already a plus. But college for kids this year, as always, is the first 2 weeks of June. It's going to be June 3rd through 7th, and then June 10th through 14th. So that's a Monday to Friday. And basically, there are 4 different options for you to take classes. So 8:30 and 10:30 each day. Each class is about an hour and a half long. So that first week you have 2 classes. Second week you also have 2 class options. So your kid has an option of up to 4 different things. We've got 31 classes, I believe, that are offered. Some new, some old. We want to keep the tradition alive with college for kids, but also add some new things to it. So if they want to do something different each time, absolutely. We are power you to do that. But if you want to keep the same thing, if you're kind of jiving with just the same class, that's up to you. So registration will open on April 6th at 2 p.m. So if you go to our website, which is meridiancc.edu/college, the number 4 kids, That is where you
Charles
got that.
Charles like, wait a minute, hang on 1 second.
I got the M down. I was like, what did she just say?
meridiancc.edu/college and then the number 4 kids. You can see our countdown there for registration to open. You can see all of our classes available, and there's a description with each of them. And there's also some contact information in case you have any questions whatsoever. Please feel free to email us, call us. We are a committee this year, as why I keep saying originally hired kids for some brief changes a month in. I'm now part of the recruiting department. So now myself, Miss Anna Clay, and Miss Mandy Hurt, we make up the recruiting department, but we are also taking on College for Kids this year. So we work really well together. We're super excited about it. And I think we all pretty much have the same vision about what we want for College for Kids. So we are pumped.
Awesome. I think she's pumped.
I'm pumped.
I think they need like a pat on the back just to keep all those kids organized.
What age groups are we talking about?
Yeah, so it is ages 6 to 12. But a common misconception, we just want to make sure that people are able to do this if your kid falls into this category. If your child has completed kindergarten, and even if they are 5 years old, they are still eligible to register for College for Kids. So that basically just gives those students a year where they're in the classroom, kind of learning that classroom etiquette with their instructor so that when they come in, it's not all blah, 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 but they actually have some structure. So 6 to 12, but if
We
your
need to
child...
move this camera when she's going to
Please don't. Yeah, but if they've completed kindergarten, even if they're still 5 years old at time of registration, they're good to go.
So kind of give us an idea of the classes. I know that I know it's expanded over the years, but
Yep.
you said 31?
We have 31
31
classes. Yes, we have 31 classes available this year. And typically it's around about like 28 to 30 classes. Courtney Pitts, who was over College for Kids the past couple of years, who has just been fantastic in helping us, because this is my first year, 1 in Meridian, 2 at MCC, and 3 with College for Kids. So
she's a newbie.
I'm a newbie. I'm a newbie, but there's a lot of
That's
excitement.
why she
that
has
comes
so
with
much to do. They put it on there.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it.
Put it on the new girl.
Yeah, Tom and Lee were like, hey, we're going to show her one thing.
Dr. Huebner, if you're listening, I love my job. Thank you so much.
Good. I tell them that all the time.
Yeah. So yeah, what was the question?
About the classes.
The classes. Yeah, so we have 31 classes available. Some of the old ones that like I said, we just want to kind of keep the tradition alive. We've got slime time, where students come in and they make a variety of different kind of slime. But also, I don't know if you've ever seen the Nickelodeon slime, like you get slime, the green, nasty, whatever. We have that as well. So that class, there's an opportunity for the students as a class to make a giant bucket of slime, and slime maybe one of their favorite instructors, one of their favorite College for Kids workers. So they get a kick out of that, but the person that has to scrape that out of their hair, probably not the best. And honestly,
one of their favorite presidents might be in line to
hey,
do
that's
that.
the rumor, that we're trying to get him up there to get slime.
goodness.
So y'all put in your word. We're also, another older class that we have is Zoom Rocket Science, and that's a really cool one. They get to build their own rocket, and then I mentioned it briefly earlier, but we basically have an hour and a half class at 8:30, and then we have a 30-minute break, and then another hour and a half class at 10:30. So in that break is where those demonstrations would happen, like the slime time. Parents can even come on, I believe it's the Friday, to see their students shoot the rocket. So the rocket that they've built the week, they get to see that demonstration. And then another class, this one's a new one. Well, they've had it in the past for College for Kids. However, they didn't have it last year. And so we're kind of just bringing it back in, but with a fun twist. We're bringing our dance class back, but our new head coach at MCC is going to be the instructor for this class. So the dance coach. So the kids get a real live collegiate coach to teach that class. So we're excited about that. And she's bringing her assistant, her daughter, as the assistant, who is a Mississippi State dancer. So they get some really cool experience and exposure with that. And then I know y'all probably know this, but pickleball is huge right now. And
Your
has been for a
favorite,
while.
Charles?
I thought you had to be like the senior set. Isn't that right? I don't know.
I thought it was 60 and over.
I know that's what they
We're,
say in the
we're
villages.
expanding
right?
the gap. We're
Okay,
expanding the
awesome.
gap, bridging the gap. So we are having a pickleball class, which is going to be awesome. So we're excited for that as well. Some other new classes is found objects. We have an instructor that was an instructor last year, but this one is a new twist on just an artistic and creative class. You kind of use everyday objects, maybe a paper clip, a used can, I don't know, something, and you make beautiful sculptures, different projects out of it. So a way to use everyday objects and make something beautiful out of it.
How
So
about
that's
that?
just, a brief overview of a few of our classes. But like I said, in our website, you can see the descriptions for all of them. And then if you're still kind of not sure, because some of those descriptions are kind of fluff and just, get people excited. So if you have questions about the specific classes, then call us, email us, and we'll be happy to give you a better descriptor so that we can make sure that we get your kids in the class they want to get into.
I think we need a class on lost objects. You have that with the kids? I mean, they're like, I can't find my socks. And I'm like, they're on the floor. Anyway, I found them.
A lazy looker.
That's what it is. A lazy looker.
Yeah, I'm kind of like that too. My wife is pretty good at finding things that I have looked over when I'm trying to find things in the house. Yeah.
Okay, I got you.
Have you
All right.
seen my shoes? They're in the laundry room, right where you took them off. Things like that. Very good. Well, I tell you what, it's Marion. You do very well. You're not afraid to speak up and talk, and maybe you should have a job here.
Well, for now, I love my job, but you guys are fun, so you make it easy to talk with, so it's good.
There you go. That's the whole thing. So it's College for Kids. Registration is coming up next week.
It's very soon. I think it's
August,
9 days.
April.
Oh, you messed me up.
Yeah, I did that. Yeah.
April 6th at 2 p.m. on our website. That is where you will find the form. And if you have any questions further than that, we also have a Facebook group this year, which is new. So we just wanted to make a space where people can find deadlines easily. And then even when College for Kids rolls around, we'll have the photo albums on there so that you can easily download those pictures of your children. But we also we're going to bring back the kids' testimonies, why they're excited about College for Kids. And I'm going to kind of just announce this a little bit, but we really want to do a mic'd up time with the kids while they're at camp, which I think would be hilarious. So keep an eye out for that as well.
All right.
They've done some of those in the past, like with the athletes and stuff.
Yes,
it is hilarious.
It's funny.
It is
funny.
hilarious.
If you haven't looked up like YouTube videos, I saw one of some, maybe like 7-year-olds playing flag football, and they got mic'd up, and they have absolutely no idea what's going on, and it's the best thing ever. So I want to implement that for sure.
Kids being kids.
Well, you see what it's like when they mic up 3 adult guys.
I mean,
and we have no idea what we're doing either.
Yeah. I did want to say this has been I don't think I mentioned this in the beginning. This has been one position in the past, but I just want to emphasize, I think I mentioned it with recruiting, but Mandy Hurt and Anna Clay, they're my coworkers, and we've been doing this together, and it's been so far about an 8-month process. I would probably shoot somewhere around there preparing for this. And they've just been the best. So they're fun to work with, and we are just really, really excited for what's to come with College for Kids.
College for Kids, and of course, the registration starts on the 6th of April, but the event itself will take place in June.
June 3rd
Yeah.
through 7th and 10th through 14th. First 2 weeks of June.
I can't imagine any parent not wanting to take advantage of that.
Yeah.
Slam dunk.
Yeah, $75 per class, so you're not getting those fees like in an actual college class. But it's really exciting to have the kids on a college campus and getting the exposure for that, even at that age. So $75 per class. If I didn't mention that before, like I said, our website, Facebook group, all the information's there.
All the information is there.
All the information.
Marion Whiting, thank you so much for coming in and talking to us about College for Kids. Anything like a slime time for seniors? I mean,
Maybe we could do that. Maybe we'll start college for. Well, I guess we have MCC for anybody to come. Maybe we'll just start sliming people randomly. We'll get Robbie at the next baseball game.
Good. Yeah. Easy to find.
Random college.
Random college.
Hey, at least it won't get in my hair.
That's true.
You'll right off,
Yeah,
Rob.
right off.
You'll right off.
Just leave it on.
Yeah.
That is so fun. All right. Well, thank you so much, Marion, for coming in and spending some time with us and talking about something very important like
Yeah, thanks for
College
having
Kids.
me.
And folks, you're thinking about what are we going to do with the kids this summer? Yeah. Guess
Slime
what?
them.
Send them on over.
Send them to MCC.
Send them
That's right.
over.
It's worth it. $75 a class.
Can't beat it.
Can't beat that. All right. Thank you, Marion.
Thank you so much.
We'll be right back after this. Stay tuned.
Way out the way, way out in we keep on doing it. Proud never keep on doing it.
Your local weather forecast is brought to you by EMEPA, your Touchstone Energy Cooperative.
Local weather now. It's a quiet start out there this morning across eastern Mississippi, western Alabama. We've got a north wind still giving us a bit of an extra chill, 5 to 10 miles per hour. We're mostly sunny today. Enjoy the sun. Highs will reach the mid-60s this afternoon. Tonight will fall to the 40s, partly cloudy, a little bit stronger of a north wind, about 15 miles per hour. Then for Thursday, more sunshine, highs in the 60s. I'm meteorologist Matt Standridge with Meridian's News Talk leader, News Talk 102.1 WALT FM.
Meridian's News Talk leader is 102.1 FM, WALT FM Meridian, and online at WALTmeridian.com.
When it comes to making your home more efficient, East Mississippi Electric Power Association has the tools and resources to help. Visit My Savings at emepa.com to take the home energy adventure to learn how you can save energy and money. Or if you're looking to explore more detailed projects for upgrading the efficiency of your home, use the Home Efficiency Analysis tool to explore your options. Small improvements now lead to big savings over time. EMEPA is your local Touchstone Energy cooperative.
Mom says she go with you. Mama says she knows this. Take your heart and break it in two, 'cause you're just like all the rest. She said you're just a one-night man and you'll end up hurting me. Mom, but I've seen something that Mom ain't make me feel inside. Mama, what they do to me, I think she'd be surprised.
Oh, yes, she would. The Forrester sisters. They were something else, weren't they? Of course, you can still the Forrester sisters. Yeah, they were. You can still hear them on our sister station, 105.7, The Legend, and good old country right there. We're glad you're out there, folks. Want you to be part of the show, but right now we're going to tell you about Trucker Supply. Right there's, I dare you to go into Trucker Supply and not find something you need or want.
I double dog dare you.
Double dog dare you.
That's right, because you can't do it.
Can't do
There
it.
is no way. It's impossible. One-stop shop for all your tools. They got Knipix tools. You know what they are?
Well, they got some really good German technology on them things.
Yeah, German, like the channel locks on steroids. They will pump you up. And of course, they've got a full room of Milwaukee tools. Everything they make made right here in the state of Mississippi. If you needed a cordless power drill, saws, drills, impact drills, sanders, grinders, cutters, routers, grease guns, and more, Milwaukee makes them, and they've got them at Trucker Supply. And of course, if you like Yeti, and who doesn't, they've got everything Yeti: coolers, mugs, lunch boxes, even Yeti dog dishes, and that's right, get some but a boosh. And they also have Yeti supplies. If your mug needs a new lid, go down to Trucker Supply and pick one up.
Yes.
And I know you're a big pressure washer, Roger. Well, they got the Hot Seat pressure washers there. Best made. That is, you talk about reliability in pressure washers. Hot Seat's the way to go. Down there, Trucker Supply, 519 Highway 19 South. They've been doing it since 1969, 55 years. They must be doing something right.
Well, there's one thing they don't sell at Trucker Supply.
Cars.
Business machines.
Business machines.
Yeah, so that's why we like to talk about Purvis Business Machines. They're right there on Highway 39, 4505, Highway 39. And they've got desktop models. They have large, they have those refurbished models that they you can get 85% gently used.
They are.
The color printing, I have your own print shop there, and you can get 85% off of those.
Lease return color copiers. That's right. Save up to 85% on
Isn't
them.
that
You can't
awesome?
beat that. You can't save up to 85% on anything these days. Well, except those color copiers at Purvis Business Machines. Check them out. Got a great website, gopurvis.com. That's easy to remember. Of course, they've got a wonderful showroom, 4505 Highway 39 North, and their number, 601-693-COPY. And the big thing about them is connectivity. They will connect that Purvis Business Machine with every device that you have and even that will be invented and released shortly. So, you know, if you are all about printing from whatever you have,
Well,
They'll do it there.
They need to come up with something. I know that I'm sitting in my chair at home and I look on my phone or my computer and say, I'm going to print this. And I hear it printing in my office.
Oh, it needs something.
But
Debbie won't bring it to you?
Well, she will, but she's not always there sometimes.
Oh, I have some attitude. Really, again, Roger?
Again.
Get up and get it yourself.
Get it up yourself.
So what we need is a little robot that'll go get it or something like that.
We are getting some comments about our Facebook Live audio not being too great. There is the radio option, 102.1 FM.
Please tune in.
There's also the WALT mobile app, WALT 102.1. Search for that app. There's other options.
X,
YouTube.
Yeah, YouTube.
So there we go.
Wow. Okay.
Multimedia. That's what we are.
We're on X too, huh?
There we are.
Mm-hmm.
We're conspiracy theorists.
We're too many places. It really bothers me.
We're everywhere.
I think we'll do now.
Do it.
Everybody kind of reconfigure their devices.
That'd be a good idea.
We're going to take this break so you can reconfigure your device. We're going to actually join Fox News, but I want to hear the Forrester sisters on the way out.
Economic impact this is having, not just on the state of Maryland, but on the entire country, is staggering. We're talking about a port that's responsible for over 51 million tons of foreign cargo. That's the largest in the country.
The National Transportation Safety Board has the voyage data recorder from the cargo ship that crashed into the bridge, trying to determine what went wrong and why. Texas's controversial border law remains blocked. The federal appeals court extended its hold on the law. The federal government calls it an overreach of the immigration authority. Texas's Republican governor says they have the right to stop an invasion, with the law allowing police to arrest migrants across the border illegally. The Trump campaign's angry. A judge in New York City issued a gag order before the former president's first criminal trial, claiming it unconstitutionally blocks his free speech rights.
He's not allowed to make public statements about witnesses, court staff, jurors, and others in his case. An upcoming trial date set for April 15th. The former president is charged with filing false business records when he reimbursed his then personal attorney for hush money payments to an adult film star who alleged an affair.
Fox's Jessica Rosenthal and other Republicans have been taken off the air. NBC News is dropping Ronna McDaniel days after hiring the former Republican National Committee chair, which upset MSNBC viewers and hosts.
Many anchors sounding off in lockstep, including President Biden's former press secretary. This is about truth versus lies. Jen Psaki also warned democracy was in danger after McDaniel was hired. The chairman of NBC Universal issued a mea culpa while announcing the termination of McDaniel. Quote, no organization, particularly a newsroom, can succeed unless it is cohesive and aligned.
It's Fox's Lucas Tomlinson. America's listening to Fox News.
Aches and pains are just part of getting older. You know it, and I know it, but that doesn't mean you have to just accept it. That's why I want to tell you the story about Nancy from Texas and her Relief Factor story. For years, she took care of horses and gave riding lessons. She started getting older, and Nancy began feeling the effects, so she decided to give Relief Factor a try. It didn't work overnight, but it did work. These days, she says, I have more stamina because I don't hurt. With Relief Factor, she can keep going and doing more. I can relate. I used to have terrible aches and pains in my hands to the point that I didn't even want to get out of bed in the morning. But ever since starting Relief Factor, I've got my life back. If you're living with aches and pains, see how Relief Factor, a daily drug-free supplement, can help you feel and live a better life every day. To get started, try Relief Factor, their 3-week quick start kit. It's $19.95, comes with a feel better or your money back guarantee. Visit relieffactor.com or call 800-4-RELIEF. That's 800-4-RELIEF.
The Ahmaud Arbery case is back in court in Georgia as 3 men implicated in the death of the black man who was killed while jogging appeal federal hate crimes convictions.
Attorneys for Greg and Travis McMichael and William Roddy Ryan will ask a federal appeals court in Atlanta to throw out their 2022 hate crimes convictions. The 3 white men who were convicted of murder in a Georgia state court found guilty of chasing and fatally shooting Ahmaud Arbery, a 25-year-old unarmed black man, in 2020, then found guilty of federal hate crime charges. McMichael's receiving life sentences. Ryan, 35 years in prison. In court filings, the lawyers claim they chased Arbery because they believed he was a criminal, not because of his race. Prosecutors disagree. Arbery's family will reportedly be in Atlanta to rally against the appeal. Kristen Goodwin, Fox News.
There was another race-based controversy in Oklahoma.
A recall election next week will determine whether Enid, Oklahoma City Council member Judd Blevins keeps his seat or not. Blevins defended marching alongside white nationalists in Charlottesville, Virginia in 2017 during a public forum on Tuesday when questioned about his ties to racist groups. That participation became known only after his election last year. Enid Social Justice Committee Chair Chrissy Balden says she's backing Blevins' opponent, Cheryl Patterson.
She isn't normally someone that I would be supporting for public office. She's very conservative and I'm very liberal, but she is not a Nazi.
Blevins says he is, quote, opposed to all forms of racial hate, but stopped short of condemning white supremacy. Tanya J. Powers, Fox News.
Stocks are poised to rebound, and Wall Street Dow futures up more than 100 points before the opening bell. Somebody in New Jersey turned a $2 investment into $1.1 billion. The only winner of the Mega Millions auction, the 8th largest U.S. lottery jackpot of all time. I'm Dave Anthony. This is Fox News.
Your morning cup of Sean. This is the Sean Hannity Morning Minute.
It is fascinating to watch that the people attacking Robert F. Kennedy Jr., the most Democrats. Let me tell you where that's coming from. That is a clear indication that polling is showing that most people rightly see Kennedy as a liberal Democrat. Okay, there's a couple of positions that maybe are unique, being a liberal Democrat in this environment, but he's part of the climate alarmist religious cult. He's got far left positions on pretty much everything. He's voted for every left-wing radical for president in the modern era. I mean, what else do you need to know? I mean, his whole family is mad because they think it's going to hurt Joe Biden.
The conservative underground meets later today on the Sean Hannity Show.
Attention business owners, are you tired of seeing your hard-earned profits vanish into thin air due to hefty credit card processing fees? It's time for a change. 247payments.com has a software solution that eliminates your fees, offering you unlimited processing for just $49 a month. Ready to keep more of what you earn? Call us at 1-844-535-0385. That's 1-844-535-0385. Call now.
Getting quality employees to fill positions in your company is essential, but finding those people can be a major hassle unless you use ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter makes finding quality people a breeze. ZipRecruiter's advanced technology identifies candidates with the right skills, sends you great matches, then you can easily invite them to apply. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. See for yourself. Go to ZipRecruiter.com/free to try ZipRecruiter for free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Local news now on 102.1 WALT Meridian.
Good morning. I'm Lisa Ruttman with the Twin States Information Update. Meridian initiated a green infrastructure project back in 2012 to improve drainage and roadways on 5th Street. The drainage system allows trees to stay close without damaging sidewalks or pavements. The city hopes the investments will attract more businesses and revitalize downtown. The Mississippi Attorney General's office has announced that the fentanyl strike force has arrested over 40 people in 2 drug operations. The operation involved Lauderdale County Sheriff's Office and the Meridian Police Department, resulting in 48 arrests and confiscated drugs. The Neshoba County Sheriff's Office has arrested a man who illegally dumped lumber after public tips led to his arrest. The incident occurred on County Road 610. That's your update. I'm Lisa Ruttman.
Stay up to date with everything in your community online now at WALTMeridian.com.
My co-host Mike Lindell is passionate about helping America get a great night's sleep. It all started with the original My Pillow. After the pillow, he focused on bedding and created the now famous Giza Dream Sheet, which you've heard me rave about before. But now is the time to upgrade your bedding and give these Giza Dream Sheets a try. For a limited time, you can purchase a queen size set for $59.98 or a king size set for just $10 more with promo code BECK. These are all deeply discounted. Mike and the My Pillow employees continue to be canceled by the big box stores and attacked by the media. They really appreciate all your support during these times, and they want to thank you by giving you free shipping on your entire order today. Just go to mypillow.com and click on the radio listener special square to check out the sale on the Giza Dream Sheets and so much more. And when you click on My Square, you'll find other deals, such as 60% off the original My Slipper. Enter the promo code BECK, call 800-966-3117. Promo code BECK, 800-966-3117. MyPillow.com.
Hey, Meridian, it's Clay Travis.
I'm Buck Sexton.
Join us later this morning at 11 after Glenn Beck.
Now back to Mornings in Meridian on 102.1 WALT.
Hey, welcome back to Mornings in Meridian. It is the second hour now of the two best hours of local live talk radio right here in East Mississippi, West Alabama. Thank you for joining us. I'm Roger B. Saying hi to Rob Atkinson.
Hi.
I tell you what, I think you actually do like being able to sit over there and just kind of not have to work as hard.
I ain't gonna lie, it's enjoyable.
He ain't done a darn thing all day.
No, that's all right. That's the voice of Charles Fraser.
I'm not a dumb bunny.
Ain't no dumb bunny.
I'm a smart bunny today.
Bunny.
No,
And it's almost Easter time.
It is. It is.
You're like the smart Easter bunny.
Do appreciate everybody affording me the opportunity to get away when I need to, so I appreciate that. We're so glad you're out there tuned in. We're going to take some phone calls here, and well, I tell you what we'll do. We'll just do that right now. We got a caller that's been holding on the line here at 601-485-9191. So let's just get right into the calls. What do you say, guys?
Let's do it.
Good morning, caller. Welcome.
MAGA morning, true American patriot.
It's a has.
In the flesh. Lions, tigers, and bears, and hazmat too.
Oh, my.
Well, did y'all take note of the story where the president of Mexico is trying to shake down and extort $20 billion from America to stop the flood of illegal aliens, immigrants, world sovereign citizens, whatever the buzzword is this week?
Yeah, has Charles brought that up to me yesterday. We didn't quite get to it on the program, but yeah, it's almost like a list of just demands.
It is.
Come on, man.
This is the price of weakness.
Mm-hmm.
This is the price of weakness. When these people have the audacity to make demands on the United States of America, you can buy a lot of rounds for $20 billion. You can build a lot of walls for $20 billion.
Yeah, you got that right.
All fentanyl coming through that border, killing Americans every day, comes from China. Okay? Look at all the other drugs coming out of South America. All your cocaine, all your heroin, all that mess is coming through that border. All the people of every description, the human waste that are killing Americans, committing crimes, murders, rapes, abductions, all the human trafficking, and we're too gutless to stop it. We deserve what we get. The weakness will bring forth the destruction.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, what we allow, we approve.
9/11, you get over Sunday school. Don't let Sunday school and Jesus get you killed. No, no, you live in a real world reality, and you got to deal with reality as it is, not like you want it to be. That kumbaya will not get it done, Jack. Will not solve this problem.
I probably asked you this before, but let's say you were given the power, whether you were president or whatever. What would you do to secure the border right now? Right now, what would you do?
I put the U.S. military down there, lock and load, orders to shoot to kill anything that comes out of that creek. If you refuse that order, you will be somewhere in the court-martialed for dereliction of duty and field executed. Now, if I'm going to have the power by God, I'm going to have the power.
we're going to stop it one way or the other. And these that are already here, guess what? If you've been here 50 years, you're a priest, or you're a drug cartel, or you're just the scum of the earth, you're going to be found and you're going to be deported. We're not going to have a SWAT limit. Well, I've been here 5 years and I'm good citizen. No, you're illegal, alien, criminal invader.
I still go back to all the people that are going through this process the legal way, and they're sitting and they're watching all this happen.
I'm a Trump for doing it right.
I'm
Let
waiting
the people
20 years.
from Western Europe come over here. Let the white people come here that are educated, got a skill, will not be a parasite and a predator. They want to be a good U.S. citizen. They see this country as a liberty, and that's what they want here, and defend that Constitution with their very lives as necessary.
And until we've allowed the border crisis, then we've been a nation of laws, supposedly.
That's exactly right. And the thing about it, the law should be equally applied to everybody. The people that are going through the naturalization and immigration process are doing it by the numbers. They're doing it in accordance with the Constitution. This other stuff, these sanctuary cities and states and all just let everybody come in, that is un-American and unconstitutional. It cannot be supported. Nowhere in that Bible, all you thumpers out there that are throwing down on me right this minute, nowhere in that Bible does Jesus tell his disciples or followers to violate the standing law of the land for any reason. Not at all.
Render to Caesar.
Render unto Caesar the things that are Caesar's. And that deal right there, does your master not pay tribute? And he told them where to go get the coin. And it comes back. Whose inscription is on this coin? They say Caesar's. Render unto Caesar the things that are Caesar's, and unto God the things that are God's. This is our piece of dirt, and this we shall defend. You know, we do not need this. We've got enough parasites. We've got enough criminals. We've got enough slothfulness in this country, and we're rewarding it. We're rewarding bad behavior like a student loan debt forgiveness, all these handout programs, all this welfare. You are better off being a slob and a worthless person than you are a productive American citizen that wants to live in a civil order society governed by laws.
I wonder where I could turn in my,
from the other people on earth.
I spent about $20,000 on student loans. I'm wondering where I could submit that for reimbursement.
Yeah, I had a student loan too because I was poor and I couldn't afford. I was going to do on the ROTC before I got in the Guard to help pay for my college, but I paid it back. It was a 10-year period.
Yeah.
I paid every copper penny back. You know why? Because that's the way I was raised.
Well,
and it's
you also had to.
thing to
And
do.
it was also the law.
Right, they would come for you.
Yeah, it was required.
Biden's campaign song should be the Rolling Stones song, Sympathy for the Devil. You're un-American and unacceptable.
Okay.
And I loathe, hate, and despise demon cats. Roger that.
Okay.
Right.
There you go. He's probably not going to be a broadcaster on NBC.
Well, I mean, the thing about it is he was talking, Charles, you were talking about the demands yesterday of the Mexican president. It's like, I mean, read some of those off. I mean, some of this is just ridiculous.
Well, his demands are for the U.S. to send $20 billion a year to Latin American countries. He doesn't have the breakdown of who gets what. But
Yeah.
whatever.
Just generally. And
Wait, I love this. Lift sanctions on Venezuela.
Okay.
All right. End the Cuban embargo. Okay. And legalize millions of Mexicans that are living in the U.S. Those are his demands.
Okay.
How do you think Trump would react to those demands?
If Trump were in office, you would never seen those demands.
No, this is the way the call would win. It would have been like, hey, Mr. President, here's my demands. And all of a sudden you hear a click. Are you beeping me? Hangs up the phone. It just hangs up the phone. It's like, really?
How about we each charge you $1 million for every illegal that comes across our border?
And we're sending them back, right?
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I mean, it's crazy.
Yeah, there you go. That's it is. Well, here's what's crazy. Do you think the Biden administration will even give any kind of attention to that?
Well, I mean, we're just throwing money around left and right. I mean, we're sending money to Ukraine, and well, let's just send some down there too. Let's send a little bit there, send a little there.
Giving loans.
Oh, what is a few billion here, no big deal.
Right.
No big deal.
So why does the Mexican president become the spokesperson for all Latin American countries? Is that his power move? Is that I'm going to be the broker for all you? Oh, wait a minute. Broker means you get a cut. Oh,
and once again,
I get it.
And once again, with what was it, $20 billion, does not give specifics of where the money is going.
Right.
No.
$10 billion for him. Mm-hmm. 18, 19.
Listen, I have been thinking. I have been thinking, and I think this is what you should do. All right, mornings in Meridian. Let's take a phone call. Good morning.
No, I mean, this sounds like a socialist wish list. If Biden had to draw up something to do to get votes, this sounds like him and the Mexican president, who is socialist also, are scheming. What can we do to get you reelected?
Yeah.
It sounds like an elitist wish list. Redistribute money, have illegalized illegal immigrants right before the election.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it sounds like, same old, same old.
Yeah.
If you look at the Democratic Party and something doesn't seem right, they're like 5 steps ahead of the Republicans doing things we never thought of. Like, I think the SCOTUS ruling last year, the Supreme Court, was on, what representation for you have to count the illegals as people too to get representation. Which puts more people in the House, like with the people that have sanctuary cities, the liberal cities that are sanctuary cities.
Loads them up.
If you count the illegals, they get more people in the House of Representatives. So they can carry out more investigations and more impeachments and the same old, same old.
I saw the best video to kind of steer you away from socialism. I was over the weekend. My wife and I we were just perusing through YouTube's, as
as one does.
Sometimes people do that.
I don't do that.
And then it says, the YouTube was the Cuba they don't want you to see, and it was just some video of backstreet Cuba that looks just totally disgusting. But it was just a matter of fact. I said, this is where socialism leads. If you're a socialist nation, this is where it comes, and we're slipping that direction faster than we want to admit. To be honest with you,
on purpose too. This is not everything that's happened is not by coincidence. It's been planned out.
Yeah.
So, all right, guys. Have a good day.
But what's the plan? You said it's been planned out, but I agree with it. But what's the game here? What's the end game for somebody wanting to purposely diminish the United States in the world scene?
Well, yeah, humiliate the United States, redistribute the money, get more voters. More people, the more they, I guess the more they legalize illegal immigration, the more voters immigrants get too. So I think it's to stay in power forever. It seems like.
Now the upside, the best thing I can say about the Cubans is that at least on their automobiles, they don't have to worry about chips and things like that. Electronics going bad, because I think everything is still carbureted and linkage.
Yeah, they haven't imported a car in Cuba since 1950. So they got a bunch of rust buckets over there.
Yeah, and it's a shame. That could be such a flourishing country, if you will.
It was until 1950, into the 50s.
Until Castro.
Exactly.
Well, Yeah, exactly. Well, there. I appreciate your phone call. Thank you. Thanks for checking in with us. Yep. 601-485-9191. But no, if you see those, just sometimes when you have a minute, just look at the Cuba that they don't want you to see, and even where they were trying to highlight the nice resorts, all-inclusive resorts. I was watching those videos and I'm thinking, there's so many other places I could go that would be even better than this.
Kind of reminds me of a scene in a movie years ago. It's been about 10 years ago. They did a movie called The Interview with Seth Rogen and James Franco that was delayed being released because it was basically a spoof film about Kim Jong-un. Like this media company was going to go interview him in North Korea. Well, James Franco is the guy doing the interview. Well, he's just kind of walking around North Korea, comes to this grocery store. Man, look at those look at all that stuff on the shelves. And it was just cardboard in front of the empty shelves. It's like, there's your socialism right there.
Big time.
That's what could potentially be coming to a lot of places. And people want this. And it's like,
now, both of those are communist countries. And socialism doesn't tend to be as austere as that. Certainly not an advocate for it, but there are a lot of socialist countries, Northern Europe, Scandinavian countries, and so on. A lot of social programs. But you look at the guy who killed 300 in Norway. Have you seen the inside of his prison cell? It's like a condo. I mean, and that's the sort of thing that you get with a socialist country. And they sure live fairly well. They have a high standard of living in those countries. Norway, of course, has a lot of money coming from North Sea oil. Hundreds of billions of dollars in reserve for that. But it limits capitalism, it limits free enterprise, it limits the competitive nature of our spirit and kind of who we are as people. As I said, I'm not an advocate for it, and it does use those who've accumulated wealth by working hard and making the right decisions and educating themselves and so on, and take that money and
And why do you think Biden always says the rich have to pay their fair share? That's always said over and over and over again. It's like, well, they're paying a pretty big fair share already. How much more do you want them to pay?
I've never been employed by a poor man. They just don't offer jobs. Sorry.
Talk to my staff.
That's what I could do. Push comes to shove, I'm coming to the white table.
We're full. Sorry. We're full. We're not hiring.
They are taking your pins.
601-485-9191. Good morning, caller. How you doing?
Caesar tells me that I've got to render unto him men dressed up as women going into kindergarten classes, reading and teaching little kids. I'm not rendering that to Caesar. Caesar tells me I can't have an AR. I'm not going to render that to Caesar. Caesar tells me I have to let men come into restrooms where my granddaughter is to use the restroom. I'm not rendering that to Caesar. Caesar tells to me I must accept socialism. I'm not rendering that to Caesar. Caesar tells me criminals have more rights than I do. I'm not going to sit back and render that. So that's out the window. That's a no-go. That's a misinterpretation of whatever you want. When Caesar conflicts with the things that are moral and of God, then Caesar is out, not God.
There you go. Hey, good call. Thank you. Yes, good. That's a good one. That was lucid, well thought out. I know what you're thinking.
It's not overruled.
Oh, it's not overruled. I had to watch that last night.
Oh, did you?
Pulled the disc out.
Sometimes you have to do that.
It was just one of those nights. I just had to do it.
Had to do
my
it.
cousin Vinny.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Anyway, mornings in Meridian, 601-485-9191. This program brought to you in part by the good folks down there at Premier Paint and Body Shop. I want you to know something. If you have a dent, ding, crash, they will put your vehicle back together as good as new, and they will work with your insurance company to get it done.
That's right. Like new results, no job is too small or too large. They'll give you a free estimate. And as you said, they'll work with their insurance companies. All of their work has a lifetime warranty. Premier Paint and Body, they're located conveniently right next to Johnson Dodge on Highway 39 North. Open 8 to 5 Monday through Friday. Give them a call, 601-482-PAINT, and write that number down, because when you get that ding, dent, scratch, or worse, then you need to know who to call right then. Tell the tow truck to bring them to Premier Paint and Body right next to Johnson Dodge on Highway 39 North. Ty is going to take good care of you, and of course, his crew has over 100 years combined experience. You might say they know what they're doing. They are the Premier Paint and Body shop in town, hence the name Premier Paint and Body.
Premier Paint and Body Shop. Go by and see him. In fact, go by and see him before you need him. Get acquainted with him. Have a cup of coffee and just say hi to everybody.
They got donuts there?
The lady, no, but you could take them donuts.
Oh, I could take them.
They'd appreciate it. Absolutely. They would love to get some. I mean,
who doesn't like donuts?
Joy's right there in the office. Of course, Patricia's there keeping everything going there in the office. And then, of course, Ty's office back there.
Yeah, Ty's too busy to have donuts.
I don't think anybody's ever too busy to have donuts.
Eat and run.
Mornings in Meridian. Right. Well, all this talk about donuts has kind of got me wanting a donut. I may have to take a break and go see what's in the vending machine.
They make a banana pudding donut.
No! You shut your mouth.
I can't think of a better time to take a this. It's more. No, it's not inside because you've heard it all week. We'll be back. Stay with us. I'm Roger. He's Rob. And he's Charles. That's the way our parents, that's what they wanted. They named us exactly the name they wanted.
Fox News. I'm Chris Foster. No longer a search and rescue mission, divers are now looking for the bodies of 6 maintenance workers presumed to have been killed in the Key Bridge collapse in Baltimore. We are going to spend every effort to make sure that we can bring them a sense of closure in this horrific incident. Governor Westmore on Fox thinking about the families there. Federal investigators have boarded the cargo ship that crashed into the bridge and collected its data recorder. A Texas migrant arrest law remains on hold for now after a ruling from a federal appeals court.
A New Orleans-based court panel denied the request by Texas to let the law take effect while the state's appeal of a judge's ruling blocking it plays out at the appellate court. It allows police to question and arrest anyone believed to have entered Texas through Mexico illegally. The Department of Justice says the law runs afoul of the federal government's authority over immigration and will lead to racial profiling.
Fox's Tanya J. Powers. Stocks dropped today higher on Wall Street. Americans listening to Fox News.
I'm Nicole Murray with Your Money Now. Crude oil futures have fallen for a second consecutive day after an industry report pointed to large build in U.S. petroleum stockpiles. The American Petroleum Institute said crude stockpiles rose by more than 9 million barrels for the week ending March 22nd. As a result, the West Texas Intermediate contract for May delivery dipped 41 cents to 81.21 a barrel. The Brent contract for May delivery shed 49 cents to 85.76 a barrel. Shares of H&M surged 14% in pre-market trading after the Swedish retailer significantly beat profit expectations for fiscal first quarter. Operating profit rose to $196 million versus the $130 million forecasted by analysts. H&M has previously announced a focus on profitability amid pressure from growing competition from Chinese fast fashion retailers such as Shein. Futures are moderately higher just before the open.
Are you looking for a financial partner for your business? Are you thinking about buying or building a home? Is it time to replace the family vehicle? I'm Anthony Thomas with the Great Southern Bank. I'm a part of the team that can help you with these needs and more. Since 1902, Great Southern Bank has been a partner for Meridian and East Mississippi. Our team of Great Southern bankers is here to be your partner too. Come see us today for all your banking needs. Great Southern Bank. Welcome changing banking that's focused on you.
Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender, MLO number 1382416.
Here at News Talk 102.1 WALT, we love our community and we love all things local. And we want you to stay connected with events over at WALTmeridian.com/events. If you have an event coming up at your church, school, or community organization, we want to add it to our calendar. Simply add it by logging on to WALTmeridian.com/events. We are News Talk 102.1 WALT Meridian.
The popularity of hydro seeding is skyrocketing. Customers notice that when Sam Bounds hydro seeds their property, before they know it, a beautiful lawn is growing. There's a reason this works so well. The seed is suspended in a moist, nutrient-rich slurry. Combination triggers the germination cycle. The mulch layer holds the seeds in place so they grow where they're put. Bounds hydro seeding is perfect for high erosion areas, new construction, or wherever you need grass to grow. Call Sam Bounds hydro seeding and erosion control, residential or commercial, at 601-917-1112.
Ever since he tried the rough greens for the first time, my dog, Uno, has changed. He's a completely different dog. I hear from people all the time in the audience. I mean, hundreds and hundreds of letters have come in who have had the same experience with their dog. They've heard me talk about rough greens on the show. They get some for themselves. And as soon as they sprinkle it on the dog's food, the dog literally wolfs it down. And it's really good for them. It's not a dog food. It's just chock full of vitamins and minerals and probiotics and omega oils. You sprinkle. Your dog needs these things to be healthy. My dog was easy. From the first time he tried rough greens, Uno was in love. Some dogs take a little bit to get used to the new flavor, though. Dr. Dennis Black, the inventor of rough greens, was on the phone with me last week. He doesn't want that to be a reason for you not to try. So right now, he's got a special gift available. You can get a free bag of rough greens for your dog just to try out. All you pay is shipping. Go to roughgreens.com/Beck or call 833-GLEN-33. Put it on your dog's food and begin to watch your dog become healthier.
Driving home, let Joe Pags ride shotgun. Weekdays at 5 on Meridian's News Talk 102.1 WALT.
Well, I want to make you tell me what I've come to understand. You're a certain kind of woman. I'm a different kind of man. I've tried to make you love me. You've tried to find fault. Oh, the flames that burn you from after. Just so great in the dark. Take every toll, 'cause it burns you slow as whiskey through an empty aching soul. And the night is like a dagger, long and cold and raw, as I sit here on the front steps, blowing smoke rings in the dark. I know I must be going, 'cause your love's already gone. All I'm taking with me are the pieces of my
Gary Allen. Met Gary once upon a time. Did you really? Met him up at the Neshoba County Fair years ago. Nice fella.
This is the national song for the alcohol to tobacco firearms. Smoke rings in the dark. Mornings in Meridian. Yes, that's right. We're glad you're out there tuned in. We want you to be part of the show, 601-485-9191. So he was at Neshoba County Fair.
That's been probably 15 years ago, probably. So
I remember going up there and catching, not Neshoba, I guess this was the Choctaw Fair that had, goodness, now I can't come out, Lone Star.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was some time ago. Mornings in Meridian, glad you're out there. Want you here in the show with us, 601-485-9191, 601-485-9191. This show brought to you in part by, well, let me just put it this way. Don't be a dumb bunny. Get your batteries checked at Battery One Source.
Too many dumb bunnies. Too close to Easter to be a dumb bunny, too. Battery One Source, 2618 North Frontage Road, in between exit 152 and 153. You'll never guess what they sell there.
Batteries!
That's right. Batteries for every need and description. Watches, remote cell phones, even laptop computers. You know, if your laptop computer don't have a battery, you know what it is?
It's a desktop.
It is a desktop. Well, make it a laptop once again. Go see John Dufour at Battery One Source. Of course, they have battery tenders, maintainers, cables. They'll even test your batteries for free. How you like that? Free. You don't hear anything for free these days. Well, they'll do it there. They'll test them. And, of course, if your cell phone's broken, they got the best cell phone repair guy in the business. Open 8 to 4:30, Monday through Friday. Battery One Source, 2618 North Frontage Road, in between exit 152 and 153, 601-693-1500. And, of course, golf cart service and repair
all the
Oh
time.
man, it's golf season, isn't it? Right now. Well, if your golf cart ain't running, go see it.
All right. Go do them. Battery One Source. Good folks down there.
Yeah, guys, I was looking at some numbers with this bridge collapse up in Baltimore. We talked about this yesterday. The ninth biggest U.S. port on the East Coast. Well, it is the number one port in the U.S. in handling cars and trucks.
Let's see.
Imports.
That's going to be Los Angeles.
No,
Baltimore is. It's Baltimore.
It's Baltimore.
Yeah.
Are you serious?
We kid you not.
52.3 million tons of foreign cargo roll through there, which is worth 80.8 billion. Now, this is all the economic impact with everything shut down right now. 444,000 passengers go through cruise lines through that port. That's about $63 million into the Maryland economy, and also jobs within that port that have to use that. 139,000 jobs are connected to the port. So, we talked a lot about the actual collapse yesterday, but the economic impact, that number one in cars and trucks, that's a pretty big one right there with that port right there of transporting those in. That's gonna hurt.
Well,
for a little while. So
all of those, ships will be diverted to other ports, but of course, then there's logistics of moving those vehicles around, and so there's a lot of things.
Yeah, 139,000 jobs connected to that port. That's going to hurt the local economy a good bit, and all the tonnage that's moved through there. That's pretty big stuff right there.
I can just bring them around to Mobile down here. We can get them cars off there for them.
New Orleans.
Well, they're Blue City. We don't care. We just let them suffer.
I'd be if I was governor of Maryland right now, I'd be on the phone with Ron DeSantis and say, hey, I have a breach I need to get fixed here real quick.
He's not, because he's a Democrat and Ron's a Republican.
Oh, well, there you go. Well, here's the thing. You heard Biden say yesterday that, the federal government will pay for every bit of the repair of that bridge and all the rest, which I get it. It's
doesn't the ship have insurance, like liability? How does that work?
But that's what I'm wondering. I said, okay, you're
State Farm.
You're quick to say that.
Who insured that?
But is the government going to reach out for damages by the ship's insurance company, or
that's a bankruptcy? I'm sure they would just say, we got nothing. And they probably do that with each ship as its own entity, and so they just say, take the ship, do whatever. But I'm not sure that's a good question, and you wonder what sort of insurance they do have.
Well, they call that subrogate, or when you go back and get compensation from you go ahead and put the money up forward. You build the bridge, and then you're going to collect from how does that work? I mean,
I have no idea. Yeah.
I was hoping you guys would know. I was just not sure, because he was able to sit there and say, yeah, we're going to build. Okay. Whew. I'm sitting there thinking, okay, I'm the ship line owner. Oh, good. Okay. The federal government's going to pay for the bridge. All right. Good.
Okay. That's one thing. Whatever. We're throwing billions of dollars around anyway. So what does it matter? we're giving student loan. We're giving $20 billion to Latin America.
$1 billion here, $1 billion there. Next thing you know, you're a winner at the Mega Millions.
Exactly. But the question is, how long will it take to remove the debris in the water? That's got to be months before they can get all that out.
Yeah.
And of course, while they're doing that, they can design the new bridge, but then building it is going to take 2-3 years.
Yeah,
I can't imagine. It's 1.6 miles of the span.
But you could,
bridge.
You could open the waterway, I guess, once you got the debris out, even while you're constructing the bridge.
Well, that's true. Once the debris is gone, then you can allow the ships to come in and out. But of course, you've got that main artery, and there's a lot of cargo that can't leave the port except by that bridge. I think there's the rest are tunnels, so you can't put petroleum or anything like that through tunnels because of risk of explosion and so on. So there are some limitations there, but you could remove or get a lot of that cargo moving anyway once that debris is.
And here's one major question I have. I know we don't need to compare disasters here, but why was Pete Buttigieg and the administration not in East Palestine a lot quicker than they were, but yet in Baltimore they were right there immediately?
Well, it's a lot closer to D.C.
But
I think Pete being the transportation, he couldn't find his way up there. Being the
I think financial scale. The financial scale of this is huge compared to Palestine.
Yeah, I'm just asking,
Yeah, that's it.
I don't have Pete's number. I'd call him, and I wouldn't want to talk to him.
I figured they must have got lost on that other one, maybe because that's like red state.
Oh, well, now look at there. Yeah, so if you're saying if Maryland had been
map,
had been a red state, then
I'm just saying.
Okay. Gotcha. It's Mornings in Meridian. Let's take a phone call. 601-485.
All lives matter.
Oh, yeah. All states, all blue states matter. 601-485-9191. Good morning, caller. How you doing?
Good morning, boys.
Hello.
How to do?
Well, I don't have specifics, but if I had to guess, that ship's insurance will pay policy limits, and it will clearly exhaust long before
Spoken like an insurance man.
this bridge even comes. I mean, their policy limits might not even cover just the bridge.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, what do you think that bridge? Give me a rough guess. I don't care if it's high or low. Just give me a guess. It's got to be north of 100 million.
Yeah, 500 million. Call it that.
Yeah.
Okay, if it's 500 million, local businesses around here have 1 million, 2 million, and you're lucky if you get anybody. You know, there's a few that do $5 or $10 million umbrellas.
Yeah.
So a ship might be required to carry $100 million umbrella. Maybe, I don't know.
So they'll be so busy in cargo and also life claims, I'm thinking.
Well, again, you're just racking up the total. And some of the cargo, you know, will be saved. Might be delayed.
Yeah.
But when you get into subrogation,
Yeah.
if somebody is working on your house and they burn your house down and they have insurance, they don't replace it. They only pay actual cash value. That bridge was 70 years old.
Oh, it's fully depreciated.
Actual cash value on lives go up.
Yeah. I said, yeah, the bridge was fully depreciated then.
Based on our tax structure.
Yeah. Yeah.
And earlier, I think Charles answered your question when you were asking the gentleman about, you know, what's their end game. You know, they're doing everything they can to make this country socialist. Every little inch step, they're just inchworming towards socialism.
Yeah, we're so close to it now. It's just not even funny.
Well, so let me ask you a question.
Yes, sir.
What socialist country do we look to for help? What socialist country does any country on this earth look to for help?
Well, what country do we look to for help in any way?
Well,
I mean, of
we're a capitalist country.
but do we look to any other country for help? I don't know. I think we help every other country, unfortunately.
I agreed, but that's where the socialists and the whole power-hungry people have short-sighted their ultimate goal. That you can't be a world power if you're a socialist country.
Well, I will tell you, we look to China for a lot of help.
Yeah,
we sell them. I mean, we borrow money from them all the time. So, you know, but which is the probably the biggest mistake we've made over the last decade. But anyway,
I think it'd be like
China.
5 decades.
China is strictly taking advantage of our.
No doubt, but you know,
their position.
Oh, of course, yeah. And we're the suckers.
And I'm sure China is smart enough to know that if it came down to the closest alliance, we would be much more valuable to them than Putin and the Russians.
China's playing both ends against the middle.
Yeah.
And you're right. They probably would if they knew they needed help that they could count on. But they're using Putin's version just for a stance to weaken us without them doing it.
Yep.
Anyway, we've covered enough. Y'all
I don't know. I like the insurance perspective, though. Thank you for that.
All right.
All right. Mornings in Meridian. This shows you we got some smart people out there.
Stupid Americans.
Well, you know, the problem is there's a lot of smart Americans, but we don't have enough voting power to put in smart Americans in office.
Well, the smart Americans don't want to run for office.
Well, that's true. That's true.
You know why? Because they're smart. Would you want to run for office?
So that no, I wouldn't. No.
A resounding no. That was an assumption you're smart, of course. But anyway.
And that was an assumption.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
Anyway.
And yeah, I get it. 601-485-9191. Let's take a phone call. Good morning, caller. How are you?
Good morning, gentlemen. How are y'all doing today?
Hello. What up?
Well, you notice how many engineers were born yesterday? Talking about how the bridge fell.
Yeah.
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 Oh, there must have been some bolts loose or something in it for that thing to fall. That was a unitized span, so I mean it's going to go down as one.
If you have, let's see, let me just, I'm just kind of I'm kind of a cradle roll block building kind of guy here, where I
do Legos.
So I'm just thinking, you have a massive support like that, and you have two main supports, and one of them goes away. It's going to come down. Just kind of, I don't know. I just kind of feel that way.
Yeah,
like
it's just one big unitized span there, and it just amazes me all the engineers that were born yesterday.
Well, now you're trying to.
With that bridge, or it's terrorism.
Now you're impressing our listeners with your terminology of unitized. So what is it that you define in your mind what unitized is?
Well, it's one big long structure, and it's supported in two spots in the middle.
But aren't all bridges one big long structure? I mean, because they got to go from one side to the other.
No, not all of them. Some of them, the bridges through Meridian, one little span could collapse, and you hit a post on one, and you just don't get two spans that are going to collapse.
I see. I follow you now.
One big massive structure.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, it just amazes me all the people. Oh, it fell too fast. They even had somebody on Fox the other day saying it shouldn't have fallen.
Oh, really?
And I'm like, yeah. And I'm like, okay, whatever. Glad you got your engineering degree, where I didn't get mine. So.
Yeah, he stayed at a Holiday Inn Express last night.
Oh, that explains it.
Yep, that's it. So
free breakfast.
That's good.
Well, what I like what one news person said, and that is what this has done. While this may not have been an act of terrorism, this has given terrorists an idea of what they could do if you get a bridge with a lot of people on it in one given day or whatever, and hey, let's we got a new idea. Of course, it may not be new to them. It's just a matter of controls and how to get it.
It's in the book. It's in the plan.
Yeah, I mean, that's one of your, you look in your book of war strategy, that's one thing, take out the bridges.
Well, now that's it. You're right about that.
I thought it was the lawyers. First the lawyers, then the bridges. I think that's Shakespeare say that.
Yeah, there you go.
I don't know.
And then serve
you
them
have a lot of work to do if you want to take out all the lawyers.
Right.
Yeah, and then serve them banana pudding, right?
Oh, there we go.
It depends who's paying for it. Right. Make the lawyers pay for the banana pudding. They got no money.
Oh no.
All right.
That's it.
Hey,
Can of worms.
The pudding deal is solved, so let's move on.
Oh, is it solved? Okay, we're gonna go with that.
Yeah, I guess so. So, too bad Roger missed out on that in his absence.
He's probably glad he did.
I'm just tore all up.
I'm
just tore up all over. Yes, indeed.
Well, okay. So, going back to the bridge thing, what I find a little bit odd about it, and I'm not saying that there's any sort of, that there was any act of terrorism or anything that was untoward, or that the story is different from the narrative that we have now of, I guess, bad gas. I don't know. But you've got a lot of very heavy cargo ships moving through this area with a bridge that all it takes is one hit from one of these ships and it will be destroyed. You would think, and I asked, I think Master Chief yesterday or one of the callers, I said, why were there not tugs kind of escorting these ships through? And I know they have different captains kind of in the harbor who are moving these ships around, who are experts in those waters, so they know where the buoys are and everything like that.
The local harbor pilots. Yep.
Right. But it seems to me that the as quickly as that bridge came down, that I'm amazed it didn't happen before this, with the amount of cargo moving through there, with the ninth busiest port of the U.S. So, there are some things that don't really make sense.
It wasn't a matter of if. It was
before. You're right. It was inevitable in a sense. But anyway, maybe I'm wrong, but just looking at those things together.
I guarantee you the new bridge will have several different bumpers in front of the pylon so that the ships would catch those first. I just call them that. They're
Okay,
so
good.
true.
I like
still
the
in
bumper.
50 feet of water. So, how do you construct a bumper big enough to stop a ship that massive?
You're the engineer. You do it.
There's
You tell
One of
me.
those old Ferris wheels.
if you engineered for every what if,
Yeah.
you would not be able to build anything.
You just put a bunch of. Carnival rides out there.
Well, don't worry. It's going to be a perfect bridge because it's going to be a Build Back Better America bridge.
Build Back Better, right?
Yeah.
It'll last at least
yeah,
50
there we
years.
go.
There you
But
go.
what if the space station deorbits and falls and hits the bridge?
Well, and that's a possibility, or a helicopter crashes in it somehow and randomly. But you don't also have a lot of space stations going through that channel on a daily basis.
Well, that's true, but where do you end the what ifs when you're?
Well, you can never end it. I mean, if you start going, you can
can't.
go with anything. Any
That's right.
possibility.
You don't leave the. You
God
say, "Well, I'm
still
not
knows.
leaving the house. I won't be safe." Well, what if your house falls in on you? Sinkhole or
Yeah.
something. There you go. I get it. Good points there, sir.
So it's
Yeah.
just you can what if yourself to death there.
You can do it.
But
Well, what if we didn't take this
it's
break and we
tragic,
weren't
but-
able to get this break in? What would happen?
What if we didn't take the call?
Yeah.
We'd be in trouble.
Yeah.
But anyway, I think that bridge was 3 days ago. It celebrated its 47th birthday.
Yeah.
It was like 3 days after its anniversary date of opening traffic.
And that was its last
Everybody's still
birthday.
hungover. Yeah.
Yeah. And I thought maybe they were afraid. They were mad at the national anthem. It was Francis Scott Key Bridge.
Mm-hmm.
Mornings
Yeah.
in Meridian. We got to take this break. No kidding, but good to hear from you, Mr. Zane.
You guys have a wonderful day. Take care. Have some banana pudding for lunch.
We're going to take a break.
Local weather now. We're tracking mostly sunny skies out there for the rest of the day across eastern Mississippi, western Alabama. High pressure is back in control, so the weather overall is pretty quiet for the rest of the week. Today's highs are reaching the mid-60s in the next couple of hours for this afternoon. Still got a north wind, though, 5 to 10 miles per hour. That north wind will accelerate, though, a little bit overnight tonight, up to about 20 miles per hour, dropping us to the low 40s. I'm meteorologist Matt Goodrich with Meridian's News Talk leader, News Talk 102.1 WALT FM.
Meridian's News Talk leader is 102.1 FM, WALT FM Meridian, and online at WALTMeridian.com.
The best radio lineup in Meridian lives at Meridian Media Group. The best news talk is at 102.1 WALT.
With the violent crime that we see now that is in every big city and around the country, a lot of small towns around the country.
All of your country legends live at 105.7 The Legend.
I fell into a burning ring of fire.
I'm gonna make my burning eyes blue.
And all those classic hits you remember are on 97.9 The Buzz.
Here I go again on my own.
It's the best lineup in Meridian. News Talk 102.1 WALT, 105.7 The Legend, and 97.9 The Buzz. We are Meridian Media Group.
Turn up to what I see. A whole lot of people that don't mean you. Want to you can lift the fingers to everybody else. Spend all the time feeling sorry for yourself. Picture my fist, picture my neck. Your mama's kicking me and you get to do that. Get over it.
That's right.
Get over it.
A little bit of Eagles there. You got to be thinking about that line in there about, the lawyers.
The lawyers.
Mornings in Meridian. Wow, we're already blown through 2 hours. This does go pretty fast.
It does.
I tell you what. Well, we're glad you're out there, and we've got time for maybe one call, about a minute here, and then we've got to get out of here because Glenn Beck's already looking through the window saying, "Get out."
Knocking on the door.
That's exactly right. Well, and we're all caught up with our sponsors, are we not?
We are.
All right, we'll take a phone call here. Got 1 minute. Go ahead, caller.
Doesn't it seem, guys, like they could take some, they got these welders, underwater welders, and cut a section out of that bridge and hook a tugboat onto it and just get it to where the cargo ship could go in and out for the time being rather than move. Doesn't it seem that common sense? Make you want to think that? Something we don't know, I guess.
Well, I'm not sure how long it would take, but that does make sense. Just kind of clear the waterway.
Yeah, just enough for the ship to continue to run rather than lose all that money, and keep them going. But anyway, all right, guys, thanks.
I'd give Maryland a call, tell them, this is an idea you had.
Well, and it's, I guess it depends on the currents and, that sort of thing. And if there's other movement of the thing. But yeah, that would be the wisest course of action.
Just ask Pete Booty Juice.
Hey, Pete.
What's the plan? Our plan is we got to go. Let's say goodbye, everybody.
Goodbye.
Bye.